Sean is really onto something huge. It's going to explode in the next few years, and it's really changed my life.
The event's absolutely amazing. Learned so much. It truly is life changing. I can't wait to go back and start making money.
So much information, and I'm glad that I came, and I'm going back full, ready to rock, ready to take action.
Words probably can't even explain what I thought. From an information standpoint, if you're looking to get into the real estate business, you can't go wrong. This is your one-stop shop. From an inspirational side, if you're looking for self-development, you'll get that as well.
Sean Terry is phenomenal. The best part I think about the whole event is that there's no selling from the stage.
I don't know how you could walk away from this and not feel inspired, just because of the great people that are willing to give everything they have just to help their friends they just met at the Extreme Freedom Conference.
Hey there, Sean Terry here from flip2freedom.com, the creator of the #1 rated real estate investing podcast in iTunes and author of the #1 downloaded book in Amazon real estate investing book. It's downloaded over 500,000 times, the ultimate real estate investing blueprint. And I have an exciting announcement for you here today. We've actually just booked the 2014 Extreme Freedom event in Scottsdale, Arizona, happening on April 11th through the 13th. And I'm telling you, it's going to be epic, and you do not want to miss it. This is a life-altering event, and it's completely different from any event you've ever been to. We don't do any pitching from the stage, anything like that. We actually teach specifically what to do on how to go from nothing, from not knowing anything about real estate, to going out and generating over $500,000 a year. It's about turning your hobby into an actual business, into an automated cash machine that can generate cash for you 24/7. And that's what this whole event is about. We've had amazing stories from people. I actually read this morning from a guy on Facebook. His name's Richard. He actually has been to 2 events. He's going to now the 3rd event. His first event, he's never done a deal before, never did anything in real estate. And then after that event, he went out and made his first check. He went to the 2nd event, and now the guy is full-time. He's a full-time real estate investor, him and his wife. He's doing deals all the time, and it's completely changed his life. So if you're in a situation right now, maybe you're just getting started in real estate, maybe you don't know a lot about real estate, and you want to know what the specific steps are to go from where you are to go out and get your first check, then you definitely want to attend. And also, if you've been doing deals, maybe you do 2, 3, 4 deals, and you want to figure out how to systematize your business, then you definitely want to attend, because we put the entire package together. And we do that by sharing the 4 phases of freedom. Okay. Now the 4 phases, we have phase #1, and phase #1 talks about the exact specifics that you need to know to go from where you are, maybe not knowing a thing about real estate, and the steps needed, the procedures needed, the tactics needed to go out and get your first check. See, here's the deal. If you don't, first off, maybe you don't even believe this can work. Maybe you've never done a deal before and you're seeing all these success stories. How is this possible? How can I potentially do this? Well, in phase 1, we show you specifically what you need to do, how to go out and find a distressed seller. That's the first key, right? You got to have a distressed seller, because here, 95% of the people, normal people in the world, don't sell a $100,000 house for $50,000. They don't do it. So you have to specifically target to find a distressed seller. So we teach exactly where to find that distressed seller, how to get that distressed seller calling you and begging you to buy their house. So once you understand specifically how to target and find that distressed seller, then guess what? Leads start coming your way. Well, when that happens, now you got to know what to say to them, right? You got to ask the right questions. And once you find out what to say to them, how to talk to them, how to gather that correct information, then you can determine if you're going to go set an appointment with them. Well, now you got to find out if it's a deal, right? So now you got to go and you got to look at comparable sales, and you have to look at different formulas to see where you need to offer it. Well, we'll teach you how to do that. We'll actually take you into specific sites that show you in detail exactly how to determine if a deal is a deal and a deal is not a deal, right? You know, I got guys that come in, they say, hey, oh my gosh, I got a deal, this is incredible. House is worth $100,000 and they can pick it up for $95,000. There's $5,000 in equity. Well, I can tell you right now, that's not a deal, I'm sorry. So we show you what is a deal, and there's specific formulas to be able to find out if it's a deal or not. Now, after you understand it's a deal, you go on the appointment. Well, there's things you have to bring on the appointment to help you negotiate with the seller. You know, there's a little manila folder I talk about, and if you have the right things in that manila folder, guess what can happen? You're able to leverage and be able to talk to a seller in a way that makes sense. We also talk about negotiation, and part of negotiation is about asking the right question, gathering the information, understanding the needs from the seller. Okay, if you understand the needs from the seller, then you can basically negotiate with them to help them get what they want. Once you understand how to get what they want, then you can negotiate to be able to purchase a house. I see people going to appointments all the time, and they're sitting there talking to the seller, and they bulldoze them with all the benefits. That's not how you do this deal. You go in there and you find out what their needs are, and there's a specific way to do that. Now, once you do that, then you got to get the contract signed. Well, did you know there's different personality types? When negotiating with people, there's different personality types, and if you know strategic ways to negotiate with them, well, guess what? You can get that person to sign the contract. Okay, it's a little ninja stuff. Can't get into it right now, but it's pretty killer. I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring people on stage, and I'm going to show you specific tactics that you can use. And guess what? There's one type of personality that you can just tell them what to do, and they'll do it. And you'll be amazed. But you have to know what type of personality type they are to be able to negotiate that with that specific tactic. So the question is, do you know that type of person? And if you don't, this one tidbit alone can make you an absolute fortune, because you know how to read people. Okay, so now you get the contract. What do? Now you have a contract, right? Now you got to go bring it to a closing agent. You know, we teach you exactly what type of closing agent. I'm actually going to bring my closing agent to Scottsdale that's going to talk to you. She's amazing. Eileen Brown, she's phenomenal. She closes all my deals. And wait till you let her kind of explain what she does. It's amazing. So after you do that, you got a contract. Now you got to go find a buyer. We tell you specifically how to go out and find that buyer. And once you understand how that comes together, where to find the buyer and how to get them to jump at your property. Well, it's all about pricing. You have to price it correctly, and you have to create a sense of urgency. If you understand how to create that urgency and that buying frenzy, even if you have nothing going on, guess what? You can get that property moved, and move quickly at the top price. It's called either fear of loss or desire for gain. And the way to structure that fear of loss and that desire gain with the seller to get them to have a frenzy, they have to get the property as fast as possible. And guess what? They close. There's a way to qualify that buyer. So we show you how to find those buyers, how to flock to you, how to get them in a frenzy to purchase your property. And guess what? Now you've got a buyer, you got a seller, and you got a buyer. Right? Let's say you get a contract for $50 and you get a buyer for $60, and you take it to closing. That's $10,000. Okay? Now you just did your first check. Well, guess what happens? You're excited. All those friends and relatives and family members that told you were insane, well, guess what? They go bye-bye, because now you get a check. Now you can say, it works. It's proof. It's documentation. And documentation beats conversation. So here's the deal, is that the whole goal of the first phase is to teach you how to get that check. And the excitement and the exhilaration, I mean, we have a private Facebook group and people post their first checks in there, they're bananas. We had a guy, Keith Morris, he sits there, he's in there, he's talking about his check, he made $102,000 on his first deal. Insane. What would that do for you? Okay, imagine if you got a check, let's say for $10,000. Imagine if you reeled in a whale and you got a $102,000 check. Do you think that would make a difference in your life? Okay, once you get phase one down, that's done. Boom. Now the goal is to accumulate 1 year of cash and put it in the bank. 1 year is the worth of your income. So let's say theoretically you make $50,000 a year. The goal is to get $50,000 of cash in the bank as fast as possible doing phase one over and over and over. You rinse and repeat. So there's strategies to be able to do that. It's increasing the marketing channels. What type of marketing channels, right, work the best? See, people get into real estate and they go, oh my gosh, I got my first deal. Then they throw, I'm gonna do mailers over here, and I'm gonna send absentee owners, and I'm gonna do inheritance, I'm gonna try this Google thing, and I'm gonna try this. And they're scattered. They don't know their numbers. They don't know their what's called key performance indicators, right? And what happens is if they don't know that, they can't strategically scale to go out and generate 1 year's worth of income, okay? Now imagine this. Imagine, right, you've done that in 4 months. 5 months. You make $50,000 a year, you're doing deals, you stashed $50,000 of cash in the bank. How you feeling? You're feeling pretty good. You've got confidence. See, a lot of people are in jobs right now and they're held captive, right? They're stuck in this job. That means they have to be going to work, and they have to have a boss tell them what to do, and it drives them absolutely bananas, right? Imagine being in a situation where you're not held captive, you got control, you got $50,000 of cash in the bank doing something that you love. That's what the whole goal is, and that's the goal. Now you have an option to quit. If you want to quit, you can. If you don't, you don't have to, but at least you have the option. Heard this story from a guy on Facebook, Richard. Guess what? He went through the whole process, and him and his wife quit their jobs, and now they're full-time real estate investors flipping houses because he went to the Extreme Freedom events. Now, after you've done that, what's the next step after that? Here's where it gets fun. You're gonna scale it, right? You're gonna turn around and you're gonna scale it as big as you can. You're gonna build it as fast as you can. And you're gonna turn around and figure out how to hire the right people, right? You're gonna turn around and go full time. Because now there's a transition from now working for somebody else and now working for yourself. Because guess what? There is no guaranteed check. There is no guaranteed cash, right? When you work for someone else, there's a guarantee, right? There's security, so we think. So then we go work for ourselves, guess what? There is no guarantee. If you have a bad month, it sucks. Guess what? You can't pay your bills. So how do we overcome that? Well, there's ways to be able to systemize the business. There's ways to be able to consistentsize the business. Hey, that's a new word. I just invented it, okay? You can make the business consistent, so then you don't have to worry about it. What if you knew what marketing produced what income? If you don't know that, well, guess what? You can't do business. If you don't know what specific marketing, the amount of marketing, and the amount of business it can create, then guess what? You're shooting in the dark. You're just wishing or hoping it would work. That's no way to do it. So we show you exactly how to make your business consistent and how to get consistent results. Then we'll show you how to scale it, which is phase 4. Phase 4 is now you basically break off the shackles. You get rid of the mental shackles, because here's the deal. If you're used to making $50,000 a year, it's gonna be impossible for you mentally to make $500,000 a year, because you have these invisible walls that's stopping you from going out and accomplishing that. Well, guess what? If you don't know what those invisible walls are, how the heck are you gonna do it? Right? It's called mental limitations. And we gotta get rid of those mental limitations. And we do that by showing you specifically what you need to do to make it happen. Okay? So, what's the next step? The next step now is to turn around and let this guy go down the street so he stops making noise. Just kidding. Anyways, here's the deal. So now we know how to scale the business. Well, when it comes to scaling the business, what we want to do now is we want to hire rock stars. We want to hire rock stars, and we want to systemize the business so the lead flow comes into the system and the leads go in the strategic spot, right? If a lead's distressed, where does it go? How is it handled within your system? If a lead's not distressed, where does that lead go, and how is it handled within your system? If you don't know that system, well, guess what? That's what we're going to talk about at the Extreme Freedom. April 11th through the 13th in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're going to show you specifically how to go out and determine where each lead goes so you can maximize each lead for profit. And that's our whole entire goal. So now, how to go out and generate $500,000 a year and beyond, and beyond. We're going to show you exactly, because guess what? You need to hire people. You need to have strategic marketing. You have to have a CRM that can handle it. And I got something that's amazing. I run my entire business from my iPhone, and it's amazing. And I'm going to show you and actually give that to you at the event, which is killer. Okay, just for signing up, because I like it. But you're going to need it, because you can't get to $500,000 without it. I tell you that right now. Okay, it's amazing. So the bottom line is that's the 4 phases of freedom that I call it. Okay, and also we're going to talk about wealth creation on exactly how to go out and build a portfolio of cash flow properties, and the goal is to do it with 0 debt. Okay, imagine having no debt, no worries, but you have properties producing cash flow. We're going to talk about that too. Now here's the thing, I also talk about what's called the triangle effect, right? And we got the spiritual, we got the mental, right? And then we got the law of attraction. It's putting those together to magnetize deals and magnetize success toward you. So here's the thing, I've got investors, that call me and they go, oh my gosh, I've been trying to send this stuff and I'm doing this and I'm doing what you tell me, but it's not working. Why? Why is it not working? Well, guess what? They're not applying the triangle effect in their life. And that they can send mail until they're blue in the face and they're not going to get results. So if you got 2 investors in the same market that send the same marketing at the same time, one investor is going to get all the deals and the other investor is going to get none. Why? It's the triangle effect. And if you're not applying it in your life, then guess what? You're going to find yourself extremely frustrated. So here's the deal. We're going to go through and talk about the mental side of it, the chronic thoughts. What are your chronic thoughts? What do you think about when you wake up in the morning? What do you think about when you go to bed? What's your story that you tell yourself? If you got a story that tells yourself, and the story of just, I don't know if I can make it happen, I don't know if I can work, I don't know if this is going to work, all these different stories, then guess what? Guess what? Those are limiting beliefs, and that's going to stop you from success. So that's the mental side of it. What story should you tell yourself? We're going to cover that in the triangle effect at the Extreme Freedom event. Also, too, we've got the mental side, right? We've got the spiritual side. There are specific spiritual laws of success that you can apply in your business to get massive amounts of results. Okay, massive. And it's not my laws, it's God's laws. I mean, if you don't follow it, guess what? You can mail it till you're blue in the face, and you might get a ton of deals coming in, and guess what? They're all going to fall apart. Have you had that happen before? It doesn't close, and this doesn't work, and this doesn't work, and this doesn't work. It's a triangle effect, right? It's that spiritual side of it. There is we all know there's a higher being, and there's a force out there. So if you're not in line with it, guess what? That means you're going against it. And the best way I can explain it is this: it's like a fast-moving river, like a ton of water just flowing down. Picture this like, I don't know what they call it, but it's a huge river going downstream. And you get your boat in the river, and you're going downstream. Here's the deal. We're taught in our society that we have to work extremely hard, right? And we have to get the best oars. We have to put our helmets on. We got to get the best boat. And we got to go upstream, and we got to work as hard as we can, because all the trophies and the reward and the success and the houses and the boats and the cars and the toys and the big bank account, it's all upstream. It's all upstream. That's what you're taught. Got to work hard. I got to get the best oars and the best bow and the helmet. I got to grind. And I got to work upstream. I got to do whatever it takes to get upstream. What if I told you this? What if I told you that nothing that you want is upstream? What if I told you that it's a facade? What if I told you everything you're working so hard for, that you're going the wrong way? What if everything you want is downstream? And guess what? If you align yourself with the triangle effect, the law of attraction, guess what? You can turn your boat, and guess what? Things will start lining up that's unexplainable. You can't explain it. Things will start, you're going downstream, and then this will happen, and then that will happen, and then this will happen. And guess what? You're gonna have less effort and get more results. Yes, I know it's unexplainable, and yes, I know, I don't, how does this work? You might think I'm crazy. I don't care. It works. The bottom line is this, is that are you going upstream? Are you grinding through life? Or are you going downstream and is everything just lining up for you? Because if you're going upstream, it sucks. I know. I feel it. I get it. It sucks. But when you start finding a way to go downstream, things change. So here's the deal. We're going to talk about that triangle effect, and that part of it, applying it to the 4 phases of freedom, will change your life. I guarantee it. It will be nothing like you've ever seen before. Now, we've got special guests that are coming, like Eric Thomas. He's the hip-hop preacher. I mean, the guy is just insanely motivating. You know, if you don't know what your why is, after you leave, you will know your why. Why? Because he rips it out of you. That's why. You're gonna leave going, "Bleh. I just gotta make it happen." The excitement of making it happen and doing it. Imagine having massive motivation going downstream and having things. Your life changes. Eric Thomas is phenomenal. He's going to be there. We've got another gentleman that's going to be there. He's called the List Ninja. He has I'm not even going to tell you who he is, but he has the ability to find these niche lists, and he can actually mail less and get more deals and more profit because he has these tiny little niche. Try to say that 5 times fast. But he has these lists that he targets. He's going to show you exactly how you can get your hands on them. It's amazing. We've got some other killer stuff lined up for you. It's going to be an awesome event. You have to be there. Do whatever you have to do. Whether you have to drive. We have people drive from Canada all the way down to Atlanta at the last event. And guess what? It changed their life. You guys see the testimonials on this page? It's amazing. All I know is this, is that there's going to be a group of people, lots of people that's going to be there. And I'd like to have you there too. Because these people it's a game changer. It's going to be a game changer. So, if you want to change your life, you want to know the specifics and how to go out and take it from 0 to $500,000. If you're sick of the uncertainty, if you're sick of being held captive, and you're sick of doing stuff and it's just not working and you're grinding your way upstream, then find a way to get to Extreme Freedom Live April 11th through the 13th. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And I want you there. So, I'll see you. It's going to be an awesome event. And I'll see you then. Take care and God bless.